Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a retro movie review for a film called Son of a Gun from 2014. This film is rated R with a runtime of an hour and 48 minutes. And as of the recording of this video, we have a Rotten Tomato score of 62% from the critics, 63 from the audience, and a letterbox average rating of 6. So everything, of 3. So everything's pretty close there. Like all audiences really kind of feel the same about this film, which is very interesting. I find it very interesting when the audience, the critics, and even Letterboxd like all kind of agree. I found that way more interesting than if they are kind of all over the place. So in this film, we meet Jr., who is a teenage criminal who is locked up for a minor crime and is forced to adapt to the harsh realities of prison life. Brendan Lynch, one of Australia's most notorious criminals, offers JR protection, but it all comes with a price. This is directed by Julius Avery, who directed films like Overlord and, most interestingly, The Pope's Exorcist, more recently as well. And it stars Ewan McGregor as Brendan, Brenton Tawites as JR, and Alicia Vikander as Tasha. So I was scrolling through HBO or Max, whatever you want to call it, and I saw a picture of Ewan McGregor, and I saw that this was an A24 film, so I definitely had to check it out. Now, this film isn't perfect. I actually very, very much agree with the critics and the letterbox rating. Like, it's all very on par to where I would also put this film. So let's get into it. This film delivers a thought, if uneven, thriller that keeps audiences on their toes for the most part, traversing various stages of the criminal and survival. Directed by Julius Avery, the film explores the unlikely alliance between this young upstart, JR, and the seasoned criminal, Brendan. While the film sets off with a gripping opening, it struggles to maintain some of that initial momentum, leaving some of the characters a little bit underdeveloped, in particular, Alicia Vikander's Tasha. The movie really kicks off with a bang, though, plunging us into the harsh realities of the prison life and setting the stage for JR's induction into the crime world. This early intensity sets high expectations, however, as the story progresses, the narrative loses some of its initial steam, failing to fully capitalize on the intrigue of the premise. It almost felt like this was three different movies in one. The plot becomes somewhat predictable, and the pacing issues become a little bit more apparent later on, especially in the second half of the film. A significant shortcoming of this film, I think, is character development. While McGregor delivers a compelling performance, Vikander's character is notably underdeveloped. Her role, although it should have been more pivotal, feels like just an accessory to the male leads and more than a fully fleshed out character with her own motivations and complexities. I think this lack of depth really prevents us from engaging with her and understanding why she's doing what she's doing, because in the end she kind of comes in as feeling like she should have been a bigger part of the film. So we have the original prison story. That's kind of the first half, the first third of the film. Then we have this actual big heist, this cool job. Like, that's all very much action packed. And then we have the ending, which is a conclusion that tries to settle most of the arcs for all the characters. But despite all these flaws, I think this film remained pretty entertaining. The film has the ability to navigate different stages. You know, the prison break, the heist, the final showdown, all this stuff overall kept me pretty engaged. Especially the harsh depiction and gritty depiction of crime. Like in both the first and second installment, the second parts of this film, like there was a an authenticity that just felt very immersive into this world, right? Especially the prison stuff and the heist. It really feels like they're trying to show you how loyalty and betrayal are just two sides of the same coin. Um, and the film can be pretty harsh, especially like everything that's going on in the prison. It depicts violence in a very brutal way, and it just shows you the realities of criminal life. If anything, this film made me really scared to go to prison. Um, all this great adds a little layer of realism, making the stakes feel more genuine and the character's desperation a lot more palpable. However, it is this same harshness that can also be a double-edged sword, sometimes feeling a little bit more gratuitous than it should be. I think in the broader context of A24's filmography, this film is not among the highest achievements, which is unfortunate because that was one of the reasons that I put it on. But it is, as A24, they're known for pushing a little bit of the boundaries and trying to be more innovative with storytelling and character work. And while this film has some moments, it doesn't quite reach the heights of some of the other offerings from this studio, which a lot of those films are on HBO. So I'll definitely be checking more of this stuff. It's a solid thriller, though. I think it's entertaining, and although it may not leave a lasting impact, I think it was a fun watch. So yeah, highly encourage you to dive into that A24 catalog. If this sounds interesting enough, you should check it out. Like I said, Ewan McGregor has a great performance, and for the most part, the film is pretty entertaining. So while it won't change your world cinematically, I think you could have, and it's pretty quick. It's under 2 hours, so that's also a plus. So if you've seen this film, let me know what you thought about it because I'm very interested. I can't believe I've never heard of this film. I've been following film pretty closely now for over 10 years, so this should have been on my radar. So, as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.